I had to dive deeper and then, I guess, understand what they actually did to me. I felt abandoned and just not worthy enough.
Willis Alatini.
Trying to do what I can in this life, just do whatever, I guess, interests me and to strive to be the best that I can be for my kids.
How would you describe early life?
Hard. I was kind of angry little kid from my father. I felt like he just disowned me and I don't know why. I'm learning, as long as you show them love, it doesn't really matter what else you teach them. Little things like that can just change a kid's life.
I've heard you mention it that for a period of your life, you were driven by ego. Do you still believe that?
First, I don't ever think about the first time I thought, fuck, I'm good. And I've never ever felt like that, ever. I don't like hurting the people I love. That's what hurt me too. I'm like, fuck, who am I to do this to the love of my life? That fucking hurt me, bro. It's just pain that I never want, ever.
Willis, if you had to go back to younger Willis, it could be their 8, 9-year-old boy, it could be Willis last year. What do you want to say to him?
If I could have one moment of your time. Most of you guys listening or watching do not subscribe to the channel. The simple and easiest way to help and support us is to subscribe. It helps us get the guests that you guys want, and it gives us a more opportunity to grow this thing to where we want to take it. Thank you so much. Enjoy the episode. Kia ora.
Willis Alatini, welcome to the Mara Show, brother.
Let's go.
Willis, what do you think, if anyone who doesn't know you, what do you think we need to know about you, bro, in order to understand, I guess, the man that sits opposite me today?
First and foremost, that I am a father, I guess, to 2 beautiful kids, husband to a beautiful wife, and just basically a young islander boy, brought up from basically a single mum, and then along came my stepfather that I guess is just trying to do what he can in his life and just live a dream, you know, just do whatever, I guess, interests me and to strive to be the best that I can be for my kids. I guess that's the biggest thing. It's just, being the best person as well, not just being that person, you know, being Willis, but just being the best Willis and I guess the kindest Willis that I can be.
Ichi. So. When did your stepdad come into your life?
He came in when I would have been 8, 9, I think. Yeah, so pretty early. Like he's been there for them. I'll call him my dad. That's my dad. Bro. He's a good man too, humble man. Not a man with many words, but he only started saying he loved me probably 10 years ago. So wow, it took him a while, but he's the man. I love that fella.
How would you describe early life?
Hard.
Yeah.
I guess had a lot of things happen when I was younger. With obviously my parents splitting when I was young, and that was all good. Like, and then came along was my biological father's wife, who kind of just messed things up a little bit and took him, I guess, away from me, and then made him decide, you know, either my mum or him.
Wow.
But I know that was her play, because that not the man, and that's not even his. Like, I'm still close with that side of my family, the Alatinis, still very close with them, and none of them are like that, you know. So definitely heard from her, and then I guess with my mother, like, she did an amazing job. If it wasn't for her, you know, just the love that she gave, that's all I needed. That's all you need as a kid, and that's what I'm learning with having my own kids now. Like, as long as you show them love and that you care for them and that, like, doesn't really matter what else you teach them. Doesn't matter. Stop trying to teach them knowledge and that, you know, just love's number one, and time, I guess. And that's one thing that I'm still working on. But that's another thing. But because my ADHD and stuff. But anyway, so my mum did a mean job, but then obviously, and then she got sick. So then obviously I was kind of angry little kid from my father, you know, kind of I felt like he just disowned me, you know, and I don't know why. So obviously got all that anger as a little kid, and then my mum did an amazing job, but then she got a disease called lupus. Got to a point where she was on her deathbed, and then I went in to go say bye to her, you know, and they turned her life support off.
Wow.
But grateful that she lived that night, and then she's still here today. So there was a lot of those things, obviously emotionally, you know, as a little kid, like trying to, I guess, didn't know how to navigate or how to control my emotions. But the only way was obviously because I played rugby and that, you know, I'd obviously take it out rugby, getting angry, and then came along the fighting, and then because that was kind of the only way I knew, I guess, what to do. Obviously, not addressing what was happening at home, and and then just got into that. Obviously, and then got expelled from a couple. From Mags, went to Mount Albert Grammar, got expelled from there, and then grateful enough to go to King's College, which I can thankfully say that basically saved my life.
Wow.
So going to that school, which I never even thought, like, especially when I first went, the first year I didn't like it, because what the heck, very white, very like privileged, white students telling me what to do, I'm like, coming from the hood, I'm like, don't tell me what to do, boy, this young little islander kid. So that was hard to adjust to, I guess. I went there from year 10. And I was there for the rest of it for 4 years. But that was hard to adjust. But then by the end of it, once I left, I realized obviously the effect that it did to me and how to, I guess, carry myself in a way of, because at that school, obviously you always have to, little things. It'll be like, make sure your shirt's tucked in, pull your socks up, nice hair, all those little things obviously to carry yourself and present yourself well. Obviously at the time, I'm like, hey, that's hot, man. Why don't I tuck my shit? Why don't I pull my socks up, So at the time, I'm like, what is this? But then now, obviously, understanding what it did to me, man, that just, I guess, helped me understand how to, in a way, carry myself, especially coming into like running my own business and stuff like that, and being surrounded by that like scene, I guess, running your own business to, I guess, especially as a islander, I feel like it's much harder, especially when you come into a room. I feel like it's a little bit easier now, but much harder to, I guess, put an impression on people, that I am a businessman, so number one thing is to turn up, present yourself well, that's number one. And then from there, you just, that gets your foot in the door almost. And then once you start speaking, they're like, oh, shucks, he knows what he's talking about or whatever. So that's what that taught me, which was mean.
Do you think that people look at you differently in those business meetings when you pull up and because, I don't know, you just said, oh, because I'm an islander guy, I have to...
Yeah.
You think you're looked at differently because of that?
Oh, definitely, as in... Depends who the business meeting is with, Yeah. But definitely in a way, for sure, like, if you're going to, I guess, I don't know, maybe real estate, you turn up to buy a house or something, I don't know, and then you'll think, oh, man, you can't afford this house, but, so I guess, but if I was to turn up in a suit, but oh, he might, straight away it changes their thinking. So, and in certain, especially in my earlier times now, obviously now I own a gym and that, and I just wear this. It doesn't really matter, But then when I was, I guess, coming up and, having to present myself, especially when no one knows you, that definitely helps for sure. Like just to, I guess, with anything, someone turns up in jandals, they're like, oh, what the heck, But they turn up in nice shoes or, dressed well, everyone's like, oh, hey, bro, what's your name? So that definitely, especially by the uniform you have to wear, like blouses. Like when I look back, I'm like, holy shucks, I used to love wearing that too. Number one's on that, so how good is this? by the end of it, at the start, I was like, what the heck? Yeah. But then by the end of year 13, bro, everything was nice and ironed in there. I'm like, whoa, that's crazy.
Wow. So Kings for you made you sharper.
Oh, 100%. 100%. And then obviously, like, the people that are there, there's some of the most wealthiest people in New Zealand, and then I guess learning a way to be able to talk to these people, or and get to know these types of people, because they are different compared to islanders, or like how they've been, because they've been brought up how they've been brought up. We've been brought up how we've been brought up. It is what it is. Everyone's different in that way. So I guess trying to navigate. It taught me how to navigate a conversation or be able to at least talk to that person in a way. It can't be like, hey, sup, dog? Be like, hey, brother, how are you? Or, just little things like that. Definitely taught me all that stuff too. Yeah, for sure. If I didn't go there, I would have been carried myself totally different. Wow. For sure. Like, I'm still a little angry kid though.
Yeah,
wow.
I was just going to ask you that. You mentioned, I was just going to ask about younger Willis. And you said that he was angry.
Yeah, definitely didn't... Still had that anger in me. And I guess that in a way that made me a good player, but then it also made me when I was playing league, and it made me a bad player because in a way it would take over me, and then it would take me away from the game, and I just want to fight people, like most talented person, whatever. And I would mean, but then as soon as I almost got over that threshold, it was just like, so red, so in a way it was a give take type of situation on that. But I guess and I probably only learnt this probably in the last year and a bit, what really how I felt, because I guess what it does, like with my dad leaving me, I guess I didn't have that male figure for number one, but then I did, because I had so many great uncles and a stepfather. But I guess it was that, obviously biological father's a little bit different. But then what it did to me is, I guess maybe second think my worth, you know, to because I was, it's like almost like, fuck, obviously I wasn't, you know, worthy enough for you to stay, you know, or to fight for me, you know. So just understanding that that's where all that anger came from, because for so long I didn't even know, like only until like last year, like 28, you know, like when I started doing my work, I'm like, because I'm like, oh, fuck him, you know, I don't care about him, you know, forget about him, whatever. But then that wouldn't fix anything, you know. And, then I had to dive deeper and I guess understand what they actually did to me. And that was the big key. Just I felt abandoned and just not worthy enough, you know. And just it was definitely that. And then from that, obviously, just anger, bro.
So these are all recent realizations for you.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Definitely.
Do you still feel like you carry that anger now, or is that in the last year you've got maybe some of these tools and things to be able to counteract that?
Yeah, don't carry that anger anymore. I definitely learned so many tools over the last year, and that, like, things like, you know, I guess trying to understand from his point of view what was going on, because we just never know. We never know what happened, you know. And for me, understanding, obviously growing up and just seeing how different relationships are, and then from, like, you know, some of my mates with their kids, you know, especially if they're split up and that, and then there's so many factors there. Like it could actually be, you know, the father really might want to be there for the kid, but then because of the mother and the father have had some drama or whatever, you know, or maybe he's got a new partner and then she doesn't want him to be with the new partner, you know, just little things like that, you know. So understanding that, like, there's so many factors to it. So I guess that kind of brought my anger down a little bit, because I don't actually know what went on, you know. Like, this is kind of what I guess that, you know, it was her who took him away from me, you know. So I just got that anger, but then to me, I'm like, well, how could you do that to me, you know? Like, I'm your firstborn, you know. So, and then it's just, I guess, I kind of, you know, I kind of understand that things could happen, you know, like get in the way of, you know, obviously he just loved this person so much, you know, and she wanted something, so to keep the peace, you know, so he had to do that. So I don't know, there's so many factors. So I'm not as I guess, as angry anymore, you know. It is what it is. I guess one day I would like to, I guess, understand what happened, you know, and who knows, that day might come. Just, I guess, for my closure, you know, they'd be like, okay, what was it? Because obviously for so long that I had thought that it was me, or in a way, you know, like I'm not worthy enough. Like, how could you let this person take me away from you away from me, you know, like, especially your firstborn. So I guess to one day hopefully be able to understand what actually happened would definitely just close that and get rid of all that trauma, I guess. Like, obviously there's still a bit of trauma there. And then that also, I guess, drives me to communicate, like, everything with our kids. You know, like, mum and dad might be, you know, having a little argument, but then, you know, we sit down, you know, because Ray might be there, you know, and he knows, he comes up and hugs, you know, stuff like that. It's like, it's all right, son. Like, you know, we're just having a disagreement, you know, like, just things like that. Because communication is the biggest one, you know, especially because, like, and that's what I always try to do. Like, my first initial thing with my kids, because it's so hard, you know, if something pisses me off or they're doing something annoying, I'll snap. Why you fucking do that, you know? And then, you know, he gets upset because he's like his mum. He's so emotional, you know, he's an empath. Yeah. And me, I'm like, and they're like, get over here, you know? But then, like, just seeing him, it kind of hurts me, because then seeing him, I guess, get upset and, like, just shut off. But then when I come to and I go down, I'll sit him down and I'll explain, do you know why I got angry? No, why did I get angry now? Talk to him about, you know, what you did, why you got angry, because what you did, you're going to end up hurting yourself or something. That's why I'm trying to warn you something. You know, and then he's like, yeah, okay, I'm sorry, Dad. You know, like, I guess trying to navigate that. But again, it's just communication. You know, if my dad had, I guess, in a way said, son, you know, I've, you know, obviously me and my partner are married now. You know, I guess, in a way, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to move here, whatever. You can either come with me or not. But then, you know, that might be it if you don't come with me. Like, I guess, but then in a way, it's so hard because how do you have this conversation with a 10-year-old? But then, and also it's like, well, why not have the conversation with your 10-year-old? You know, like it's, because then, yeah, maybe I'll still be sad, obviously, might not understand. But then now, obviously, because I'll remember that conversation, I'll understand, you know, and I might not have been an angry little kid.
Yeah,
you know, like it's things like that little things like that can just change a kid's life. You know, and the way that they carry themselves and the way that their upbringing becomes, like, it's now having your own kids, it's like, got to be so aware of that. It's like the littlest things, like of how I tell Rome off in a way, it's like, fuck, how's this going to affect him when he's older, you know, like, I hope he, you know, doesn't get too scared to tell me stuff because he knows I'm going to get angry. You know, things like that. It's just, there's a lot to when you start thinking.
Nah, because I can resonate wholeheartedly, like full as well. Same age as well, 10 years old.
Yeah, bro.
That idea of abandonment from a father. Have you seen it, or how have you seen it play out in, I guess, your relationships as you've gotten older?
From that, this is when I realized what it was, is, I guess from that, I've always felt abandonment. So then, in a way of, I guess, relationships with my friends and stuff, if I had felt like, not that they portray me, but like, in a way that...
Unwanted?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, yeah, that would probably be it. Unwanted, like... You know, there'll be things, they might go have a party or something. They knew I was going to say no, so they wouldn't even say, you know, wouldn't even invite me, but then I'll find out. But even though with me, I knew I wasn't going to go anyway, you know, but then there's something in me that feels like, oh, like this rat shit, you know, like, why didn't you just, like, you could have just asked. I would have said no anyway, but like, but even though I know I would have said no, and that kind of really annoyed me because I'm like, why do I feel like this way? Like, I wasn't going to go, bro. Like, who cares? Like, who cares they had a party over there. Like, it's not even that big. But there's obviously just from that thing that my father had done, like it felt carried on in my relationships with my friends and that, and then just understand. And that's what made me really understand. It was actually my best mate who told me. That made me think, like, oh shit, this is what it is. You know, this is abandonment feeling. Wow. It's crazy, man. So I'm grateful that I learnt it. Because for so long, 28 years, 27 years, I didn't know what it was. You know, and I'd get upset and then obviously when I see my friends next to me, because with me, I can't hide my feelings either. So I'll be like a little bit annoyed, you know, and they'll feel the energy too, you know. And obviously that would also create some tension in our relationship. And then we won't know where's this tension come from, you know. But it really has been all me. Yeah. Just from that little trauma that happened to me, carried on in my relationship with friends. So, yeah.
What's helped you combat that, Kay?
Just understanding what it was. Yeah. Finding out what it was.
So awareness to the
awareness. Because I've never really been aware either. for 27, 28 years. Hey. I'll be like, hey, fuck, what's wrong? You know? But then now just, I guess, self-awareness is the biggest one, bro. And then from that, but then it's also hard with my ADHD and stuff. It's hard. It's almost like annoys me even more that I'm self-aware because now I'm so self-aware of how I'm feeling, all my emotions and all that kind of stuff. I almost get more irritated. You know, it's just like, fuck, why? Like, because I know, now I understand what it's like to not feel like this or to not feel like my head is in the circus, you know? Now, because I understand, because I've done all this work, I've got these tools to kind of bring me back down to zero and just level me out. So then when I do feel stressed or even though it's nothing, bro, it could be nothing, but it's all in my head. Wow. Then it makes me more irritated because I understand it. Like it's like a double-edged sword with self-awareness. It's annoying. But then also, obviously, if I wasn't self-aware, I wouldn't do the work. Yeah. So, yeah, self-awareness is the biggest one, bro. Once I learned that, and then I guess trying to, just from learning, from just listening to podcasts and stuff, how to, I guess, control my emotions in a way, like certain things like meditation, biggest one, breath work, journaling, you know, just write down whatever it was, you know, boom, just does something, it just releases it, you know, and then I guess it's all knowledge, just learning. I've learned so much over the last year of I guess, why things happen or why people are the way they are. Like, there's a reason why people are the way they are. It's because their upbringing. You know, and you can't blame that. Like, who are you to get angry at that person or annoyed at that person? Just because I'm noisy doesn't mean it's right or wrong. You know, it's the way they've been brought up. They don't know any different, you know? And then obviously there's certain people that do the work on themselves to try to change that if they want to be better, you know? So, but you can't force that on people, eh? So just learning a lot about that, bro, and learning about, I guess, it's all knowledge. Just learning and wanting to learn, I guess. You know, for so long, I guess I've been so ignorant and arrogant. Like, if I'm the way I am, you know, like, why should I change myself? Why are you annoying me? Like, you're annoying me.
Yeah, bro.
But then,
It's you.
Yeah, it's you.
Yeah.
It's not me.
Wow.
I was like that for so long, man. And like, why didn't you do this? I would have done that. You know, things like that. You know, a lot of people say that as well. Like, fuck, I wouldn't have done that to you. You know, and I call myself saying that a lot. Like, so much, man. And I would say that was my go-to. You're like, how could you disrespect me? Like, I wouldn't have done that. You know, like, I thought we knew, you know, but like, who am I to put that on my mate? Like, he doesn't know. He wasn't brought up by my mom, you know, like, he doesn't know shit.
Yeah, bro.
So, like, it's just how people been brought up, eh? And just, I guess, yeah, doing the knowledge and education around that and trying to change my mindset and trying to get, like, don't let it bug me. It is what it is, bro. If you don't get along with him, don't get along with him, you know? Like, still care for you, still love you, but we're just not as close as I thought we were. You know? That's what it is.
Yeah, what I'm hearing there is like a lack of accountability.
100%. 100%.
And then I also hear, because I've heard you talk about this, like I hear a little bit of like the ego in that as well.
Bro, biggest.
Do you think that because I've heard you mention it, that for a period of your life, you were driven by ego?
Yeah.
Do you still believe that? That you're still driven by that now?
There's different types of ego, eh? And that's the thing, like, that's what I've learned as well. Like, there's that number one ego, fucking, I'm the man, and no one, like, my shit don't stink type of vibe in there. Like, there's that, which I ended up getting into. Like, I thought I was the man. I'm fucking hee-ha-hoo, eh? You know, like, hey, no one can touch me, you know? So there's that. But then there's also, I guess, the ego, whereas, I don't know whether that's ego or confidence that, you know your ability of what you can do and what you want to do, and you just back yourself, you know, like, that's ego in a way as well.
Yeah.
But you just don't voice it or like carry that energy that the first ego carries, you know, like, fuck, you know, we all know those people, but you know, big, yeah, I'm the man. Yeah. So, you know, there's all different types of ego, I guess. But yeah, I was that first guy for a minute.
Wow. How has your ego helped you, and how has your ego hurt you in your 29 years?
I guess my ego definitely helped me in the way of backing myself. Like, I don't care about what anyone thought, you know, like, I can do whatever I want. So and it's again, double-edged sword. Like, that's the beauty of it, you know, like, because, you know, even when I failed in that, I still got, my ego's still high. I'm more good. I'll go again. I'll do something else. You know, like, so in a way, that's that confidence as well, that self-confidence and backing yourself. Because everyone doubts you, you know. So having that, in a way, helped me a lot to get to where I am. But then, obviously, my downfall is just the person that I became, and I guess treated my closest ones, you know, in a way that it I guess changed me in a way. Like, I would be different in different scenarios, you know, like, just thinking, first of all, thinking I'm the man. No one likes to be around that guy, you know, like, you know, but I do whatever, you know, why don't you listen to me? Well, no one likes to be around that guy, you know, and then ended up becoming like that, you know, and then people almost like walking on eggshells around you. So that was a shit thing about it. That obviously, and then obviously not being self-aware. You know, for a long time, just not realizing it. So that was probably the biggest thing with that ego, is just ruining relationships. It's annoying, but again, it is what it is.
Yes. Do you view that idea of success? Do you look at success differently now and compared to how you viewed it when you were younger? Yeah,
100%. You know, I guess success is big flash car, big house, money splashing everywhere, shouting everyone. You know, that was my success. Yeah. Did that for a minute, that was enough. But, you know, my success now is just, I guess it does change too when you have kids. But being able to look after my family, not even just my kids, you know, my mum and dad, if they need a hand, you know, just, and in a way of, not even just money, you know, in a way of like, I'm healthy, I'm fit, what do you guys need doing? You know, need me to come mow the lawns. Yeah. Right? I'm coming to mow the lawns, you know, like, that's my success. Or, you know, my kids are happy, like, that's success, man. And I guess not starving, that's success enough for me. And I guess being being able to do what you want. Like money-wise or no money, we can basically do whatever we want. We've been our own bosses for the last 6 years, you know, and done whatever we want. You know, we want to go on holiday, we go on holiday. You know, we want to take the kids here, take the kids there, we do it. You know, so but the last 6 years have been successful for me, you know, and money, I guess, yeah, not really. It used to be driven by money, as always. You know, when you're a little kid, you're like, yeah, I want heaps of money. But fuck, money is stressful, bro. Money just comes and goes. And that's the thing, it just comes and goes. You just got to make more of it if you want it to not go. Or stop spending it. But it's like, what's the use of not spending it? Like, I want these things. I want this. Why can't I spend it? You know, and just say, yeah, that's my success these days, bro.
I love that. Willis, you mentioned before that you have ADHD. When were you diagnosed with ADHD?
In the last year.
Wow.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. I've obviously always known that I've had some sort of ADHD. But then from doing the work on myself and being more self-aware and just understanding, but there's so many different types of ADHD as well. Like, wow, it's wild. There's like 12 types or something like that. You know, like there's the ADHD, like I'm the hyperactive fella who just cannot stop. I can't sit down, man. It's just like this, boom, boom. Now, you know, like I just can't sit down and it irritates me. But then there's a ADHD fella who just will sit there, like, because it's all in his mind, you know, like he's too overwhelmed. And he can't do anything. So he's just like, fuck, does nothing, you know? Wow. So there's just so many types of ADHD and it's, I guess, learning about it's being wild. Has it taught you or given you some clarity on why you behave the way that you behave? Yeah, 100%. And that was the biggest thing. Like, obviously there's a difference between knowing and then actually, you know, getting diagnosed and actually got the proof there, okay? Then once that, obviously, this is why, so, you know, I'm irrational or I speak before I think, you know, that's an ADHD trait. And I hated that thing, bro. And that was the one thing I could not stand because, you know, there'd be times where I say something, just blurt out. And I'm like, fuck, and then after straight away, I'm like, oh, what the fuck, bro? That's not even funny. Or like, you know, like, why'd you say that, bro? Like, you said it in the wrong tone, you know? Like, and it's like, fuck,
say before you think.
Yeah, bro. And it's just like, and then I'll change the room, like the energy straight away. I'm like, so that was big, especially when I was drinking. Oh my gosh, even worse. You know, it got to a point that's like, bro, this is not fun anymore. Wow. You know, like, so that was a big thing. Like, it was like, it gave me okay. So it gives me, it doesn't give you an excuse. It just gives you a reason and makes you understand. Okay, so this is actually like a thing. You know, like and for you, I guess for yourself, it just made me feel a little bit better. You know, in a way, like, fuck, okay, this is actually an issue, but how are we going to fix it now? You know, like we need to do the work on to fix it. Like not just, this is an issue, I'm just going to leave it. Bro, I got ADHD, I'm sorry. You know, like you can't just blame it on that shit, bro. There's a difference between you getting diagnosed and having ADHD and doing nothing about it and just blaming it on that compared to, you know, doing the work and wanting to change it. And instead, having that, getting that diagnosed and then it just, straight away I was just like, okay, sweet, what work do I need to do? You know, what things that, if I could look at the list and go, yep, I do that, or not, I don't do that. Okay, those things, what do I need to do to change that in a way, you know? And it's not gonna, it doesn't change straight away. Like it's a lot of work, it's endless work, but also I love doing my too, you know? Like it's, that's what I've realized too. Like why I ended up the way I did, I got too comfortable, you know, and then I stopped doing all the work on myself, where I grew up doing, you know, little things like ice baths and saunas and all that kind of stuff. And then from getting diagnosed and that, and then realizing, you know, shit, I need to do some work again. And I went back into working on myself again, and I loved it. Flop back straight in, you know, because I'm used to it. Yeah. And that's what I love. I love doing the mahi, man. I love, because like I'm gonna be better, you know. I'm doing this to be better, not just for me though, for my kids and for my wife especially. Like I feel sorry for my wife, man. The shit she's had to put up with me. Yeah. Wow. Even my kids, I swear my son's got ADHD too. Now I'm like, oh shit, my dog's got ADHD. I'm like, oh sorry, baby. It's a wild household, man. But yeah, it's definitely helped me a lot, just in my mind, you know. Just okay, yeah, sweet. What do we need to do? Fix this shit. So,
I guess it's probably giving you some answers there of why. Why?
Yeah, because I guess even with me and Amber talking, we used to be like, why? You know, I would hate the things that I'll do. Or say, or you know, because I don't like hurting people too. I've never liked hurting people, But my words would hurt people, you know, especially the girls too, you know, like because they're so sensitive, and I'm like, who cares, you know, like just things like that. So it really bugged me, but then from getting diagnosed, I'm like, okay, that makes sense. All it does is make sense. It's like, okay, this is why. Because for so long, I guess it's been hasn't been closed off. Like, why do I do this? You know, I just thought it was just my drinking, or like, you know. But actually, no, I thought when I'm sober too. So what the heck? Can't be right, you know. So
just amplified it.
Yeah. Well, that's it. When you're drinking, there's no barriers now.
Yeah,
you know, I guess when you're sober, you do it a little bit, but you don't do it to the extent of when you drink. It's like floodgates are open.
The mask comes off,
and then you wake up in the morning. Oh, what did I do?
Gee, that's crazy, bro.
It's been good. It's been good.
But do you think so? That's some of the negatives.
Yeah.
Like some of the negative. Have there been any positives?
Oh, very hard.
Yeah.
Like I love not being able to sit down. Like in a way, like it's because I just gotta stay active, and for my mind, I have to. I cannot sit down and do nothing. Like if I do that, I did it one day on the weekend. I slept in a little bit till like 9 o'clock. Slept in, and I'm like, you know, just irritated straight away because I've like slept in. I was supposed to wake up at 5, and there's 4 hours that I missed out. You know, that's so in a way that's annoying. But then I love it too because like I just don't stop, and I'm sure my wife loves it too. At the same time, annoys her, but at the same time because I just love doing stuff. Boom, and I'll help. You know, if anyone needs a hand, boom, I help them. Whatever. Right. Mum needs a hand, yeah, sweet. What do you want? And then also like it drives me to learn new things because with ADHD people, I guess we cannot do the same thing. Yeah. Like more than twice, 3, 4 times. Like it's boring, but it's like this is like what else? You know, if we do that, we just stop. Yeah. Like it's the same thing with work. Like, you know, I used to think when I was an employee, like fuck, I was always trying to chase more. Even though I had a mean job, comfortable job, I'm doing what I want, you know? Like, but then I always found myself, I need to do something else, you know? So in a way, it's good in that way because you're always looking for something and then doing something. So, but then it's also, but it just keeps me active, you know, and just keeps me on the go, which I love. I love being on the go. In a way, I do, but in a way I don't. And for my mind, I love being, I guess, physical on the go. But then sometimes I don't like my brain being on the go. But I just can't stop it. It can be annoying at times. But
I feel you, brother. Do you contribute any of your success to having ADHD?
Yeah, hard.
Yeah,
just like my head dog, bro. Like I'll just get shit done, like as a physical wise. I can't do bookwork. Hell no, don't put me on that stuff. No way. But physical wise, you know, that's why you know, especially when we first started at the gym, but I'll just smash that out myself. You know, do all the DIY stuff myself. Just go, like you know, always willing to learn. Okay, how do I do that? Because we've got to save money too. But then also in a way, with ADHD, it doesn't. I don't second think myself, you know, in a way, because I'm just like, nah, fuck, let's just do it. Let's just go. You know, I'll just have a look. Oh, yeah, sweet. Oh, we'll try that. Give it a crack, you know. Wow. Might have to do it 5 times and that to build something or whatever, but you get there. I guess that's, if I wasn't so active and wanting to just go get it, I guess that would definitely make things a lot slower.
Yeah, because now that I'm hearing that, I'm like almost converting it to your ADHD is kind of like a superpower of yours.
Oh, very hard. It is. And that's the beauty about ADHD, man. It's not a disease like they want to say, you know, like, but it's a superpower if used correctly. Yeah. And that's the biggest thing is first, number one, it's being aware that you have it, then getting diagnosed, and then from there, I guess, learning the tools of how to navigate your ADHD, you know, like, because there's some negative parts, like as in, I can't go to sleep early, bro. I'll go to sleep at 1 o'clock. I'm waking up at 4. Yeah. You know, I'm getting 3-4 hours sleep if I'm lucky. Wow. Every night. That's the one there because your brain just can't turn off. You know, and there's always so much to do. I know there's so many tools and things that I need to do, but I'm still working on that. But that's the one thing that I guess really annoys me, and like I just can't go on the couch and just sit and watch TV. You know, because I'm like, fuck, nah, I need to do this, I need to do that, the washing still needs to be done. You know, so that's the only, I guess, annoying part. I call it annoying because it's not bad. It's annoying. You know, it's like, I just want to relax. But then that's why obviously being hungover would be all good because that's the only time I'd relax, you know? But then I'll be playing catch up the whole rest of the week. So it's definitely, you just got to learn, because there's, again, so many different types. You need to learn what type you are first and then, I guess, use it in a way of how you want to use it in your life to be able to, I guess, what's it called, assist you in life, you know, rather than, like, it's not an excuse. It's not. Don't look at it as a bad thing. Definitely not. ADHD is mean. I love ADHD. But most of the people that I get along with have ADHD.
Yes, bro.
Because I feel like, do you have it?
Yeah,
That's what I mean. Oh, I can see it, cause yeah. What are we doing?
Gee, oh, bro, like, so my brother's got diagnosed.
Yeah.
And my brother reminds, bro, I look at you and I look at my brother so much, bro. I haven't been diagnosed, but I swear I got it too.
100%.
I feel sorry for my mom. You know, like, she's been raising the two of us. Because we're crazy, cuz.
Hard. And that's, it's.
But I know what you mean about getting along with people that also have it. You know, it's like there's the energy about them.
I guess because also another thing that I need to learn is I speak so fast.
Yeah.
You know, and then when new clients come into the gym in there, you know, hey, blah, 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 and I see them like look at me going, and you can see them think like, what the fuck did you just say? You know, and then that's why I kept myself, oh, sorry, I spoke too fast here. Also, I've got ADHD, sorry. Like, you know? So it's like, fuck, but then obviously ADHD people can talk like this, you know, understand what did you just say? Didn't even hear half of it, but I knew what you said. You know, it's just, man, it's energy, and it's energy too. Like that, I guess that's another superpower of me is my energy, bro. Like, you know, if I could have 2 hours sleep, but don't worry about me. At 5 a.m, cuz I'm gonna be up. You know, I'm gonna be fucking yelling at my clients and getting them up energy wise. You know, that's that's what I love about ADHD anyway. Is that, you know, like, but then I also don't dwell on how much sleep I've had. Yeah. I'm not going, I've only had 2 hours sleep. Sorry, guys, I'm just going to have no energy this class. You know, like, what do they do straight away to your class? Like, fuck yeah, I've got no energy as well. You know, like, we can't be doing that.
Nah.
So, you know, and that's my wife. Like, she won't do that, but like, you know, like, it'll take her a while, maybe 20 minutes to like warm up and be like, all right, you know. Whereas I'll come in, 1 hour sleep, all right, what are we doing? You know, so that's also a main superpower that I love about it.
Wow.
But yeah, bro.
Reframing it as your superpower, I love that.
Yeah.
But you mentioned your wife, Amber. You've been with her about a decade.
Yeah, bro, nearly. Holy shit.
Hey, congratulations, brother.
Oh, that's crazy.
What does she bring into your life, cuz?
Calmness, bro. Just straight away, like, obviously noticing that, like, I mean, she actually tries really hard to calm me down these days, but yeah, no, definitely calmness and just I guess teaches me a lot to, I guess, help me as in she doesn't ever judge, which is mean. Like she always, I guess, puts it in a way of makes me think about, you know, why I guess why are you acting like this, or why puts the responsibility back on me, I guess, and it makes me really think, oh shit. So she definitely teaches me a lot too, and taught me a lot, which has been unreal. But also just love, like endless love. Just if you're lucky enough to be around her and she I guess one of your close friends, fuck, you know, when she loves, which is mean. That's what I felt straight away too. So, but she just like completes me, just because obviously you got to be a bit of yin yang, you know.
Yep, bro.
Fuck, I could not be with another ADHD person, that's for sure. Holy, you would not want that, you know. So, and very props to her because obviously she likes the excitement, you know, to be with me. Like, I feel sorry for her a lot. I'm like, just I guess the amount of stress, stress, the amount of energy. Yeah. It's just like, it's a lot. It's a lot for her. But yeah, man, she just completes me. I love that girl so much.
Well, it's 29, 10 years since you're 19, or you know, that sort of age.
I've met her at 17, lad.
Oh, you met her at 17. Look at that, see?
Yeah.
What? And that for me in this day and age in the modern world, I think is quite rare. Oh, 100%. And very beautiful that you've been able to, you know, sustain that.
Yeah. Grateful.
Yeah. What, like, because majority I feel like will be younger men listening. What advice would you give to younger men when looking for a woman, when we're looking for a long-term partner, like what you've been able to, I guess, achieve?
I guess you gotta feel it straight away. Like, she might be pretty and hot and whatnot, but if the connection's not there, you know, if their personality doesn't suit you, then it's not gonna work. You know, like it might be fun for a couple of months, but that's it. I guess you gotta. But yeah, I guess we just felt it straight away. Like we just knew, you know. I don't know how to explain it in a way. It's because you can get caught up in thinking, oh yeah, no, I know this is the feeling, you know. But this ain't the feeling, you know. It might be 2 months later. Ah, fuck, well, I said that was a feeling. So I guess it's hard to explain, but someone who I guess is willing to grow with you is the number one, but and someone who is not gonna change you for who you are. You know, as the biggest one too. She's never done that. Even though, you know, she could happily tell me not to do this, to do that. She doesn't do that. You know, she and vice versa. Like, actually, it took me a lot because, you know, when I was younger, and I'd be like, where you going? You can't go out looking like that. Where you going clubbing, man? You know. So it taught me a lot too to, I guess, accept and just accept her for who she is. Like. But she's so beautiful, like, obviously, that's why, you know, why can't she look beautiful going out by herself? You know, like it's, and that's where a lot of us get caught up because we get worried that, you know, that they're going to go play up or whatnot. But all you're doing is you're going to make them want to, you know, I guess if you're going to keep them at home, you know, and tell them what not to wear, because no one likes to be told what to do. Okay. You got to let them be their own person and let them flourish and grow themselves, you know, and that's what she's done for me as well, is let me be and live my own dreams. And ambitions and that, and she supported me 100%, and same with her. I'll support her 100%. So I guess the biggest thing is realize finding that person that is keen to do life with you, eh? Like it's not just have fun, have kids. Like it's good, have fun and that, but also there's a lot of parts that ain't fun too. You know, but I love this person and I'm gonna go through the trenches with this person. You know, like it ain't all fucking fairies and honeymoon and all that kind of stuff, bro. There's some lows, been on the lows, there's the highs of the highs. Like, don't get me wrong, there's highs as well. Yeah. But I am willing to, I guess, person that is willing to put in the work and not change you or change yourself, but to put in the work to, I guess, work with each other to be better as a couple, be better as a person, you know? Wow. So, and that's what we've done for the last 12 years and continue to doing too, because like life's like chapters, eh? You know, like obviously there's your, you know, 16 to 18, bro, fuck, no responsibilities. Yeah, whoop-de-doo, let's do whatever, you know? And then from there, you know, they probably ran up to 21s maybe, you know? And then from there, another chapter will come in, I'm feeling like I need to start doing something with my life, you know, and another chapter. So exact same as a relationship. It's those first 2 years is what I call it normally, honeymoon phase. Yeah, everything, bro. Nothing's a worry. We don't get annoyed at each other. Oh no, I love it so much. You know, don't get me wrong, you loved him, but you know, you never annoy me, babe. Come with me 24/7. You know, you're like glued at the hip, bro. Everything's happy days, and you go on to, you know, the next phase. You know, when it's like, okay, we start doing our own little thing or whatever, and you know, and then, bro, especially when kids come involved as well. Oh shit, that changes the dynamic straight away, you know, because obviously there comes a point where one person hasn't had enough sleep or whatever, or one person is feeling like, you know, they've been left at home with the kid and you're able to do whatever you want, you know. So obviously a lot of tension that will just grow and build together and along this journey. But then it's the relationships that are willing to, I guess, voice it first, communicate that, and then I guess work on, okay, how are we gonna do this? How are we gonna? But then also it's the respect of understanding and knowing, you know, like I'm at a point now, like, fuck, I can't just go fishing with the boys anymore, you know, like it's just like, it's annoying, but like, yeah. But I can't just go, babe, I'm going fishing tomorrow, you know, whereas when you got no kids, babe, yeah, I'll see you later, you know. So, you know, there's a point there where you need to obviously sacrifice things and not be selfish, because it's not about you anymore. But also to keep your relationship beautiful and no tension there, you need to also understand how they're feeling too. Because how would I feel if I was at home and like my partner's going out fishing every single day? You know, I'm home stuck with the kids. Bro, give me 2 hours with the kids, but I'm like, babe, where are you? You know, like, let alone going fishing all day. Yeah. So it's a lot of learning, bro, and back and forth. But you need that person who's willing to do that with you. You know, it's a continuous learning, and it's continuous love, laughs, cries, everything, bro. Just once you find that person, I guess, then you'll know. Well, you got to go through those trenches first, eh? If you don't go through those trenches, then it's all honeymoon for like 10 years. Don't get me wrong, there might be relationships they will do. That's great. That's unreal. But not many, eh? Not many that will do that.
Does she make you want to be a better man
Oh, bro.
A better husband, a better father.
Yeah, definitely. Well, she's always challenged me to be better, that's for sure. As in, like, like, I know I can always be better in so many ways. And she definitely helps me, I guess, be better too. Because she's so understanding. And that's what I love about her. She never, I guess, wonders or blames me or anything.
Judges.
Like, judges, never judges. She always think about, the other side. Or like, why are you doing that? Like, okay, wait, why is Willis thinking like this? So what's happening? And then break it down, and then be able to communicate it like that. So, or she'll let me do it, and then I'll fail or whatever, or something will happen, and she'll be like, I was gonna say that was gonna happen, but I want you to, So she's very caring in a way of that, which is unreal.
That's beautiful.
That's very rare to, I guess, find as well. So been lucky with that. But yeah, and then obviously what that does is she always, I guess, puts it on me to learn, because she knows that I'm better at learning myself too. I got to do that. I got to do whatever I was going to do. She could have told me that was going to happen, but she knows that I need to go through it, and then, be like, okay, so babe, I knew that was going to happen, but she's willing to, I guess, let me go through it, to be able to do that, and then that's the best way I learn, man. So she's definitely the most supportive for sure, and vice versa. But here for her whenever. So it's
Team,
been
eh?
definitely helped me grow, become a man, I guess, that I am today. But still willing to be better, as always.
Yep, bro. Speaking of low lows, I remember, or you've shared that last year you hit like a rock bottom moment for yourself.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Would you say that was one of the lowest moments of your life?
Oh, 100%. 100%. I just, again, talk about this ego thing. This ego thing just, ego thing just got me, bro.
Yeah.
Too good. Obviously, so, with the gym, whatever, bit of ego there, successful business, whatever, I'm the man already, and then I got into DJing. Boom. I love DJing because I guess I'm able to, that's another ADHD thing, to be able to express myself and be creative, and to be able to control a room and the vibe. That's one thing I love, being able to provide vibes, If you know me, I'm always the loudest or whatever. Might not be the right vibe sometimes, you need to relax. So, but it got into that, bro, and it's just that CNA obviously just caught up to me. Just got stuck in the sauce, bro, and just before you know it, I'm being a person and a man and a father that I obviously never thought that I would become, and didn't want to be. Just living the, I guess, high life, thinking that I'm the man. And bro, now I think I'm like, fuck, every weekend I'm going working. Yeah. But bro, my set finished at 12 o'clock. Why are you getting home at 5 a.m.? Oh, no, because I had to, show respect to the boys, bro. But then who are these people, bro? So I just got caught up in that, as we do. And that's, but I give props to DJs and workers that don't get caught up in that life, man, because that takes some strength.
Oh, yeah.
But I was just too easily persuaded, and then obviously having a big ego, fuck, it's just feeding me, but I'm like, I'm the man. Fucking it just got to a point, but I was just, I was basically gonna lose everything. And it's fucking, and that's when I was like, holy shit, like I need to wake up. And I had a few warnings on the way. There'll be warnings and there'll be, I'll be like, fuck, you need to stop this shit, otherwise, fuck, why am I gonna be with you? Like, you're becoming, I was selfish, became selfish. Just did whatever I want, didn't really matter what she wanted to do, and just became the person that she never fell in love with, It was when I look back, bro, it was disgusting. A person that I never thought that I'd become, especially from the love and care that I have for my family, but it just dropped out of my mind, it was just me. Again, ego thing, bro. So, when we basically split up. And then I was kicked out to mum's, and this was, oh fuck, this is not good. This is not good, bro. And then, that was when you didn't realize, obviously, but I needed that though, which was annoying because I wish I had learned before getting to that point. But with me, bro, I gotta learn the physical way, So, bro, I did that. Fuck, went back to mum's. I'm like, holy fuck, like, wasn't gonna see the kids in there. I was like, holy shit, like this is it. Like I'm fucked, So. For me, bro, and that's probably the first time, I don't ever think negative or anything, but the first time I thought, fuck, I could go, you know, like, and I was like, holy, that's what I knew. I was like, fuck, this is fucked. And I've never, ever felt like that, ever. And I never will. But then that's when I knew, like, fuck, nah, this is how much I do. Like, because like, you get comfortable in that for so long. But I've been with her since 17, you know? And obviously getting caught up in the sauce and that too. And it's just like, fuck, I guess I'm getting attention that that I wasn't getting at home, you know, in a certain way. And then that's why I obviously gravitated towards that as well, you know, and kept me going, you know. I'm like, fuck yeah, you know, that's all I want. I want some fucking, you know, some assurance, some fucking praises, you know. Like, yeah, I'm getting it from the DJing, you know. So, but then obviously just took it way too far, bro. And then, yeah, and then I was thinking, bro, this is not it. When I got kicked out, I'm like, fuck, this is not what I want. This is not the life I want. You know, I don't care about DJing, bro. I don't care about nothing. All I want to do is, I don't care if I've got no money. Yeah. I just want to be with my wife and my kids. And that's when I knew, I was like, fuck, that's how much I love this girl. Like, this is my soulmate. Like, this is, even though I know it, but when you're with someone for so long, you know, you just get comfortable. You know, you don't really feel like you're ever going to lose them. Yeah. You know, you're like, nah, you know, that's my girl, you know, I'm with her forever. And then when I lost that, I was like, okay, we need to wake up, bro. We need to wake up real quick. So, yeah, that's when the turning point, bro. And to be honest, it was probably the best thing that ever happened to me. Like 100, like I didn't realize myself how deep I was and how bad I was and the person that I was becoming, the yuck person I was becoming, you know. It was just, that even just my energy in there, like, it's just like, bro, like, who are you? You know, it was just like, but no one says it, you know, and so I just thought I was all good, but then now I look back, I'm like, fuck, bro, what a mud dude, bro. Like, that is.
Do you wish that someone, maybe one of your boys, looked at you and said, like, Willis, up to, brother? Or do you think you would have reacted in a way like,
the way I was, bro, I wouldn't have been fuck you know, like, I would have listened. Yeah. Because of that's what my mindset was at that time, you know, like, that's who I was becoming. Now, I'm the man. You can't tell me what to do. I'm all good, you know. So I don't think anyone could have said anything, but it wouldn't have helped. Like, this is what needed to happen to me. Like, Amber needed, like, someone who, it's when something is taken away from you that actually, like, that's your heart, bro. It was like my heart was getting ripped out, bro. I was like, that's when I was like, fuck, I need to wake up. That was a change. I had heaps of warnings, you know, like, oh yeah, I want to, and you know, I'll be like, fuck, yeah, okay, babe, I'm sorry, I'm going to stop. Good for a week, babe. Back in the same routine, you know, like, but until that heart was ripped out, but I was like, so, like I said, best thing that ever happened in my life. Then from there, I was like, bro, I need to start doing some work, you know, but it took me a few months to get back into home, like, and that's what also I'm grateful for Amber, because she stood strong, you know, she stood on herself, but had the kids, all good, you know, like, she was the strong woman that I knew she was, you know, and that's what at that time when she showed it, you know. She could have easily said, yeah, August, babe, come back. You know, I need a hand with this stuff, you know. And a week later, it would have done no good to me. I would have probably just got back in the same cycle, you know. So
tough love.
Yeah, 100. And that was probably the best thing as well. So I was at mum's like, bro, for 2-3 months. And I was like, fuck. You know, but then obviously it forced me to do my work, you know, like, bro, I'm not going to get back at home unless I show her physically and do the evidence that I've changed, you know, that I am willing to change, I guess. Yeah. But anyone can talk about it, of course. But if you're not going to do it, well, there's no point, you know. So.
And what did that work look like fundamentally? What was like the practical, the rebuilding, right?
Yeah. Number one, getting sober, because I was on a pissy weekend, drugs, all of it, you know, about 3, 4, 5 times a week, you know, just like, because I work on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you know, just on the source, cause you know, DJing 1, 2, 3, 10 later, bro. So number one, bro, is get off the piss, and that just fixed everything. Just get off the piss and then start doing my work as in by getting active. It was actually mean because it was the first time in our 5 years of owning the business that I didn't think about work, had no work at all for like 3 months, bro. That was the best. That was like a massive, again with my ADHD, I didn't realize how bad it was. That was just a massive relief. I was like the first time I could relax, ever. Like I was breathe, bro. And so obviously that was a big factor too with a lot of things that was happening. Just always been on the go. But yeah, so started doing that, and I got in touch with my boy Timmy, who runs like a Re3 program, which basically what he does over a 12-week period is give you these tools to be able to be a better person, to be able to, I guess, work on yourself. You know, things like meditation, task list, you know, every day, habits, non-negotiables every day that you need to do, affirmations, gratitude, all that stuff that we know to do, but we just don't do it. You know, we get too comfortable, like in the routine, and we just don't do stuff. You know, and what happens? Well, we get to a point like boom. Even like now, like I know to do all these things, and then I'll probably have a week or two off, and I'll be feeling like, oh, like you know, I'll be feeling no, what is going on? You know, like fuck, I need to get back into my non-negotiables and that. So just learning all that stuff, like almost just, bro, peeling it right back to when you're a kid. Like that's all it was. Like peeling it back. Like what did I do? What did I enjoy? Things I used to do to look after myself. Fill my own cup is the biggest thing. Is filling your own cup first, because especially being in the business that we're in, you know, group training and whatnot, always filling everyone else's cup. Give. But I didn't actually realize that I had no cup to be giving. You know, for a long time. So once I felt that, that's a feeling there. Once you feel that happiness and that, I guess, that joy in your cup is full, fuck, now I'm like, yeah, I can take the world on. I can give this to everyone now, you know? So just learning all those things and just peeling that right back, bro. And just, again, self-awareness. Like being self-aware. Because for so long, I thought I was all good. Hey, I'm all good, you know? Yeah. And don't get me wrong, like, I think it was a way, I didn't want to act like I was... like a spoiled brat, you know, that I wasn't grateful for anything. Yeah. You know, so I guess in a way that I'm good, I'm great, I'm fucking nothing to complain about, you know? So I don't want to look like I was ungrateful for anything. But just there's a difference between, you know, being grateful and then being good, you know? So yeah, but once I learned all those certain tools to use, and obviously it doesn't work straight away. You gotta be consistent with these things. Like anything, training, whatever you do, you gotta be consistent, and it just becomes a habit. Like habits don't become habits straight away. You gotta do it every single day for it to become a habit. So just learning all that stuff, getting back into my reading, and just learning, bro. Learning like I said, learning about different people and being open-minded of how people are, you know, and just self-aware, bro. You know, and just not being ego. No ego, not ego-driven. Not I'm the man. Actually think about what's around you, you know, other people. Like just be a good person, you know. And I thought I was, but I wasn't. Yeah. Because I was so stuck in it. So yeah, man. So that just opened me up. Like I was like, holy like I'm back. You know, like I felt like I'm back now. Like I haven't felt that feeling in a minute. Which is crazy.
What a beautiful feeling, brother, to have. And I know what you mean about that cup. It's like overflowing.
100.
Hey, when you're overflowing.
Yeah, 100%, bro. It's different. You just gotta do. You gotta be selfish in that way. You know, you gotta be selfish in the way of having respect for yourself to make time for yourself. You know that, but not time to fucking be stupid and go on the piss of the boys. Have time to do things that are gonna benefit you mentally, physically. You know, working out. Meditation, journaling, go recovery, sauna, ice bath, those things that are gonna benefit you to become a better person, I guess, is the biggest thing. Whereas I was doing that, I was benefiting myself, but I was getting on the piss. Wasn't benefiting me in the long run. It was benefiting me at the time. It was great fun. But you know, in the long run, eventually crumbled, right? It was just So just learning, but you gotta go through that, eh?
Oh, bro, like you just said, it was one of the best things that ever happened to you.
It's hard though, because I don't like hurting the people I love, you know, and I hurt Amber bad, bro. And that's what hurt me too. I'm like, fuck, you know, who am I? Who am I to do this to the love of my life? You know, like, so that fucking hurt me, bro. It's pain that I never want ever for her to feel ever, and she won't ever. But yeah, I wish that was the only thing that I wish that didn't need to happen. I don't want if there was another way of doing it where she didn't have to get hurt. Perfect. But unfortunately, you know, some things like that just have to happen for it to change. So, yeah, man.
Brother, I feel like you've, even in this last 12 months for yourself, so many revelations and realizations. The ego,
bro.
ADHD.
Massive. I've learned so much. Like,
Willis, it's beautiful to hear as a you know, young Tanya, you know, a younger male looking up, thinking, holy heck. There's so much to do.
It's a lot of work, huh?
Yeah,
and it gets tiring, but because you know sometimes you be like, "Fuck, I just don't want to do anything." You know, like why? I just want to do nothing, you know, get tired, but that's when you do nothing, that's when you turn to shit. You know, with anything, you always got to be doing something.
Yeah.
Working on yourself.
Oh, cause I feel like I'm least confident and least like self-assured when I'm not.
100%.
You know?
100%.
And then I feel like I'm losing myself.
Yeah, bro. 100%.
You know what I
You
mean,
have
bro?
to always, like, continuously.
Cause
It's just a life journey thing.
brother, since being, like we said off camera, but being back home,
Yeah, bro.
bro, there's been some times where I'm like, fuck, who am I?
Yeah,
you know,
that's
like
it,
what am
bro.
I up to? Like,
Exactly.
but it's self-derived.
It's like, exactly.
It is like I put this own ADHD
Your own,
pressure.
But it's because you've felt another environment of what it feels like to be, I guess, thriving or motivated, you know? And when you're in there, it's hard to come back here and fucking not feel like that anymore, you know? And that's with anything. Once you've felt that, you get that little bug, you're like, fuck, you know? But that's something that's benefiting you. That's what's like, yeah, fuck, yeah, I'm going back. See you later. You know? So it's just, And sometimes that's what you need to do. Like, it all depends on your environments too in life, like wherever you are in life, who you're surrounding yourself around, you know, and that's where I got caught up too, surrounding myself with my boys, but, you know, my homeboys, like back in the days, you know, like not good, influences on my life. Not the person that I want to become, you know? Yeah. So just surrounding yourself by that, like, fuck, just turns to shit.
Yeah.
You know? And then now, I don't need anyone now.
Yeah.
You know, I got my best mate, Patty, and my family. That's all I need. You know, it was before I used to think that I need all these friends. But they're just coming to take. And but then again, like, that's what I had to learn. It's not on them. You're the one giving it out, cuz. Don't get angry at them for taking. You know what I mean? Like, bro, who? And I used to do that all the time. I'd be like, fuck, I'll buy trays and trays and give, everything. Yeah. But that's because I'm a giver. Like, that's my love, you know. But I need to be giving out of the way of not expecting back, you know. But whereas I got caught up, like, no, fuck, we're just taking, you know.
Yeah,
but then also I'm like, don't get angry at them guys. They haven't been brought up to be good, you know. They don't know. They don't know any other way.
Wow.
So it's just a lot of learnings, cuz. A lot of learnings, eh.
Are you wanting to get back into the DJ scene?
Yeah, but not the clubs. Like, I don't mind when I'm allowed. First of all, won't be allowed. But it's different now. Eh? Like, I love DJing. Like, it's so much
the
fun.
craft.
A craft is music. And I do love DJing in the club because of the energy. You know, and it just turns the room. I do love that. But now I can do it in different ways. You know, like, there's no need to be doing it every single weekend, especially when I got a family at home. But it's not it. You know, it's like I wasn't there every single weekend. Like, bro, that's not it. You know, so I'll still do it. Like, I'll do weddings and stuff and that, or just jam at home. You know, there's ways for me to still do it, and to, I guess, get that dopamine hit, that rush. But I don't need to be in the clubs anymore. That's just not for me, bro. It's not my time.
Different lifestyle.
Different lifestyle, bro. Different lifestyle.
Willis, what chapter are you in now, brother? What chapter are you stepping into now?
The learning chapter, cuz. I guess just learning and the self-work chapter, you know, and I guess trying to continue to be the best of me. And I guess learn it's almost like what we want to do now, you know, like we've been here for 6 years, but it's just like, okay, we're almost just getting bored, you know, it's like, okay, we need to do something else to motivate us again, you know. So I think this year's got to be a lot of figuring out of where we want to go, as relationship-wise as well, not even just business-wise, relationship-wise, where we want to go, and just by learning. I think this year's just all about learning and taking it in, you know, just taking every moment and just fucking just work, just my dog this year, bro. You just got to do it. Just got to go out there and grind. So it's going to be mean. I'm excited.
Is there anything that scares you now? Or would you say is your biggest fear now?
Nah, losing my family, bro. That would be my only fear. But they ain't gonna happen. I'm not losing my family again. How no? But nah, nothing scares me, guys. Just go out and get it.
Willis, if you had to go back to younger Willis, could be the 8, 9-year-old boy that his old man just left. It could be Willis last year. What do you want to say to him, cuz?
That you're worthy. You know your self-worth. It doesn't matter, you know, who comes and goes. You know your self-worth, bro. You are your own self-worth. So just be confident and just yeah, just know you're worthy, pretty much. It's the biggest thing. If I was taught that earlier, bro, life would have been different, definitely. So
It's such an interesting point, brother, and it's a beautiful point, particularly for men. Because, bro, there's certain days where I feel the same. A lot of us do.
100%. A lot of us. And I guess a lot of us do, like I did, but not even knowing what it was.
Yeah.
You know, like I didn't know it was that feeling, you know? So I guess you just got to peel back the fucking layers, bro. And you got to really be self-aware and just really look at yourself. You know, what is, I guess, the things that, you know, especially if you're trying to be better in a way, as a better person, you got to peel back and just really look at the things that are, I guess, irritating you, why these things are making you do the things that you don't want to do, and just try fucking break it down to what it was, you know? And you got to go back. All these issues that we end up having in our adulthood is from our childhood, bro. Doesn't matter what anyone says. You could have the best childhood, bro. I could have got whatever I want, but there's going to be some issues from that, you know? That everyone has their own little issues from their childhood. And if you do want to change that, you need to just peel it right back and just, I guess, really understand and just be accountable also as well, and just accepting what it was. Okay, so I accept that, you know, I felt like I wasn't worthy enough. Okay, so how do I feel that worthy, you know? But also getting help, bro. I had to get help.
Yeah.
You know, I got help. You know, getting help from the people that, you know, you might not be a counselor, just from people that you trust. You know, from mum, dad, it might not even be them, might be your best mate. You know, you just gotta, don't be scared to reach out to anyone. You know, it could be the neighbor. I don't know, anyone that you actually trust that you're able to open up. Just reach out. Like, I feel like everyone puts on this face that they're happy. You know, and there's nothing's wrong. There's always something wrong.
Ooh, yeah.
Always. It doesn't matter. Well, I could be a millionaire. There's something wrong for sure. You know, I could have no money or could be happy as there'll be something wrong. You know, and if it gets to a point where, you know, you do need help, just go get help. There's no shame in that. That's the thing, especially with us men, you know, and our culture, there's so much shame about that. There's no shame. There's no shame, you know, if you're alcoholic, if you're a drug addict, if you're, you know, dealing with, can't deal with your relationship, you know, if you're abusive or whatever it is, there's no shame in it. You are the way you are from how you've been brought up. You don't know any different, you know, but if you're understanding that and you want to do the work and you want to change, go get help, man. It'll be the best thing you'll ever do in your life. You know, it's too hard to do it by yourself. It's way too hard. Like, doesn't matter how disciplined and consistent you are, it's way too hard to do it by yourself. You know, what if people come to my gym and train?
Yeah.
You know, why do I go train with some of the boys?
Deeper.
It's too hard to do it by yourself. You know, it's got to get that helping hand, right? That's all you need. A little help hand, come. Boom, we on. You know, so.
Shout out to the brother Tim Max as well. And
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's my boy.
Now, well, it's my final question, brother. I want to go to your kids. When they grow up, and for whatever reason they decide to listen or watch this conversation, what is the one thing you'd want them to take away from their dad's story?
I guess just to back yourself and do what you want to do, and your parents will always be there for you. Doesn't matter whatever you want to do, we got them 100. Doesn't matter if you want to be a teacher, okay, be a superstar somewhere. Do whatever you want, as long as you're happy, we're happy. Let's go do that, my beautiful babies. Let's go.
Let's go. Willis Alatini, baby. All right, my brother, thank you very much for being here, cuz.
Thank you, brother.
It's, stories like these are the ones that I think people need. You know what I mean? Because there'll be people probably that have watched your, I guess, trajectory and think, he must have everything sorted. And boom, even when you're still up there, as you said, there are still problems.
Very hard. When I was up there, I went straight back down, cuz. Everyone does, bro. It's the way of life, eh? It is what it is. You got to go through it. But, yeah, it's just knowing that you just got to keep carrying on, bro. Life's hard. Life ain't easy. Life's hard. Business is hard. Relationships are hard. Everything's hard. But it's only as hard as you want it to be. You know what I mean? So you just got to take it on the chin and just find a solution, find a way, and just carry on. It is what it is, man.
Well, brother, we got a closing tradition on this podcast where the previous guest asked the next guest a question, not knowing who they are. The question for you today, bit of a buzzy one. You can answer this any way you want. what color are you? Bro, there was Shane Lou, something dumpling. I have to say it, bro, because my bro's creative.
What colour am I? At the moment?
Yeah, cuz.
Right now? Feeling a bit bubbly? I'll say baby blue. You know, just baby blue.
That's my favorite.
Not because I saw that. Because I'm feeling a bit warm inside and that.
I love it, G.
Yes, sir.
Oh, my brother. Bro, where can the people find you, cuz? Online.
So socials, Instagram, Willis Alatini, first last name, and then yeah, just hit me on there. You might see some cleaning videos and whatnot on there, but I'll be around somewhere.
Let's go. Oh, my brother. All right, Fano, that concludes another episode of The Martin Show. We will drop Willis's details below. Make sure you're subscribing to this channel, _ The Martin Show right here. We're going to be back next week for another episode. Go show some mana. Go show who you are. Kia ora. Thank you.
Yes.